This is my Oday Mariner 19 that sadly was damaged beyond repair in a tornado last year. Well, maybe not damaged beyond repair, but it requires a lot more time and labor than I care to put in it. So hopefully someday I'll find somebody who is willing to bring it back into serviceable condition, because these are really cool boats. To me, this is about the perfect trailerable boat, but it's a little bit on the large side if you want to sail single-handed, which is mostly what I did. But it's not really the sailing that's the issue, it's the launching, and particularly the raising of the mast. That's the biggest challenge when you're on your own trying to launch a boat like this from a trailer. Having just one other able-bodied person makes the task a breeze. See what I did there? It's really not a problem if you have two able-bodied people. You don't need any sort of blocks or any sort of purchase or levers or mechanisms to raise the mast. You just do it by hand. One person stands on the cabin top facing the stern, and the other person stands either on the floor timbers or on the centerboard trunk and pushes the mast up. And it's not hard. When you're by yourself, however, it's doable, but it's really not safe. I've done it several times just the most primitive way, by pretty much stepping up onto the centerboard trunk and walking along and pushing the mast up, and then jumping up on the cabin top and making off the forestay. That's really not a safe way to do it, and I've had some close calls doing that where the mast has almost come down. So I realized I need to come up with a better solution. And the mast on these older Mariners, it's actually pretty dang heavy. It's aluminum, but still, it's a big and a tall mast, and it's probably not like some of the more modern trailer sailors. And it does have a tabernacle and pins, but it's just a dowel pin. It's not a real hinge pin that's bolted with two bolts. It's just a single pin and a very rudimentary tabernacle. So if you read online, there are a lot of complicated ways to raise a mast that you find, and they do work, but for my taste, they were just a little bit too complicated. I wanted the simplest possible solution, and this may not work for everyone, but in my case, I decided the easiest method using the least amount of rigging was to find a way to attach a boat trailer winch to the mast itself. And then I was going to pull from the mast to a post on the tongue of the trailer, which I already had a post on the trailer, so that made this a lot more practical. If you don't have a post, then it's going to be a little bit more work to accomplish this method. So essentially what I did was I made a wooden U-shaped bracket and mounted the boat winch to that with two bolts, just as if you were mounting it on the trailer. And then I use a pair of ratchet straps to tie this apparatus onto the mast. Then you run out your line on your winch, and I just hook it onto the post on the trailer and crank it up using the winch. And the nice thing about this is you can basically stop at any point during the raising process. If something snags, then you can lower the mast down and clear the snag and keep going again. You can go as slow or as fast as you want when you're raising it, so it makes it a lot safer. But I do have to stand right there with the mast to stabilize it as it's going up. But I was really pleased with this solution, and it took me quite a while to figure it out. I didn't come up with this on my own. I had to come up with the particulars for my application, but I got the general concept from another video on YouTube, and I wish I could remember where it was, but I saw it and I was like, you know what, that actually seems like the simplest way to do it. If anyone is really interested in this method and the little device that I made, please say so in the comments, and I'll try to get you some pictures of what I made, because I do still have it.